contrast with the fact that you people are the leaders in your countries, that you mold the opinion of the people of these 15 countries. It is only in this way that we really unite these people, these forces, and bring them together and create this feeling of belonging to the alliance. As a result of this, we have strongly advocated the establishment of what we can call an NATO atomic stockpile.
The future Supreme Commander of all NATO forces was just 12 years old in 1919 when he and his family moved to Red Wing from Minneapolis. Lauris Norstad's father, Martin, was just beginning a 6-year run as minister of St. Peter's Norwegian Church in Red Wing. Martin Norstad grew up in Red Wing with Norwegian immigrant parents, and he attended Red Wing Seminary. Lauris' mother, Marie Johnson Norstad, was also born in Red Wing, and both Marie and Martin are buried in Red Wing. Growing up in Red Wing in the roaring 20s, Lauris Norstad was quickly nicknamed Lally, maybe because his family always called him Lal. Lally remembers good times in Red Wing, doing the toboggan run on College Hill and skating on the Mississippi River. He was active at Red Wing High School in debate, football, basketball, and more. His football nickname was the Slippery Norsk. Lally was the lead actor in the class play and editor of the school paper, the Purple Parrot. He was the 1925 Red Wing All-Star student in his graduating class of 100. Over the years, he attended several class reunions and had many lifetime Red Wing friends. Upon graduation from Red Wing, Lally was going to pursue a law career until a friend helped out. Red Wing classmate Janet Musty's uncle was the local U.S. representative, and she connected the two of them, and shortly thereafter came an appointment to West Point, which Lally had always dreamed of attending. Lally graduated unremarkably, 139th out of 241 in his 1930 Military Academy class. He was commissioned a second lieutenant of cavalry, which he was looking forward to. That is, until a couple of classmates convinced Lally to transfer from cavalry to the Army Air Corps. You know, a Minnesota kid getting offered California and Hawaii, what choice does he have? So Norstad headed west to Marchfield, California for Army Air Corps Flying School, where he won his wings and was formally transferred to the Air Corps in 1931. Later, while training in Hawaii, Lally met Isabel Helen Jenkins, a Hawaiian-born beauty who was home from college because of the Depression. They married in 1935 and began a life together that spanned 50 years and witnessed many of the great historical events of the 20th century. Isabel Norstad became the First Lady of NATO. Before Norstad could amass the hours to obtain B-17 pilot rating, he was detailed to office duty, first as an assistant intelligence officer with the Bomber Command Headquarters, where he quickly caught the eye of General Hap Arnold, commander of the Army Air Forces.
On behalf of General of the Army Arnold, commanding general of the 20th Air Force, I am able to give you a report on the recent activities of the B-29s.
During the war, the lanky Minnesotan made a meteoric rise through Air Corps ranks. Norstad was a key and strategic planner in Washington, D.C., Africa, Europe, and Asia, and at the end of the fighting, he held the rank of Major General. Norstad's superiors and our allies considered him to be one of America's more gifted military leaders. Internationally, he achieved many foreign awards and the respect of friends and foes. Commander Eisenhower said of Norstad, "He was and is one of those rare men whose capacity knows no limit." After his presidency, Eisenhower summed up his lifetime respect for Norstad, saying, "There is no assignment in America's security establishment for which you are not eminently qualified." Because of his background and nature, Norstad added spiritual dimensions to his military theory. Modern wars, he observed, are not fought over boundary lines or economics, but over philosophical issues. So, ideology permeates. And you don't win clear-cut victories by armed forces alone. And the only weapon against an idea is a better idea. After World War II in 1945, Major General Norstad was Assistant Chief of the Air Staff in Washington and helped plan and finalize the separation of the Air Force from the Army. Norstad also worked with Congress on the creation of the National Security Act in 1947, which was a major restructuring of the U.S. government's military and intelligence agencies. A full general by 1956, Norstad became commander of all North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, forces in Europe. In addition to ground troops, General Norstad stressed the need for tactical nuclear weapons as a key asset in the alliance's arsenal. From Time magazine in 1957, Norstad's primary goal was to keep the fragile new NATO alliance together as he accommodated British and French nuclear ambitions while forestalling the same for the West Germans. President Kennedy appreciated Norstad's calm and patient leadership of NATO during 1961's Berlin Wall crisis. After 37 stellar military years, 56-year-old Lauris Norstad retired from the military to become president of Owens Corning, an insulation and roofing materials manufacturer. During his 9 years in leadership, company sales went up over 110%, and Norstad was well respected for contributions that built the company, in particular their international growth. Republican Party leaders considered Norstad as a presidential candidate in 1968, but he had little interest. Norstad died at the age of 81 on September 12, 1988, and is buried at Arlington National Cemetery. He was a first-class airman, strategist, and diplomat. Around the world, he was known and respected as General Norstad, but to Red Wing, he will always be Lally.